Okay, so you've heard me talk about emotional muggers all week. You've read about it. You watched my blog on Tuesday. You watched my video on Tuesday, and now we are all aware of the fact that we have emotional muggers in our life, whether it's type A or type B. Now what we need to know how to do is, what do we do with that? How do we deal with that? How do we, go on about our own lives without letting the negativity seep in and zap us of all of our positive energy? And I mean, clearly you can't get rid of all the emotional muggers in your life. There's definitely the people who, are abusive and attack you, and if you can cut them out. But then if you remember the type B, the people who are, less obvious about it, how do you deal with that on a daily basis? And how do you not let it suck every single ounce of positive energy out of you? Let me tell you, in my own life, I've come across, both type A and type B, and I've had to learn how to deal with them on an ongoing basis. It wasn't only, like I figured it out one day, do this, and then, made it all better. It's not the way it works. It's one of those realities of practice makes perfect. And I'm still learning and trying new ways to deal with it so that I can always stay in a positive mindset as often as possible. So there's a couple of little things that I do that help me get rid of the negative and bring myself back to a positive frame of mind when either emotional mugger type A or emotional mugger type B impacts my life. And believe me, it happens. It happens on, a pretty regular basis because I can't control the world. I can't control how people are going to act with me. So one of the things that I always do is, with particularly type A, when type A comes after me, throwing darts and arrows and all that stuff, the thing that I do is I go back to the root of my life, my goals, my dreams, my ambitions. And I work on something, or I do something that makes me feel alive. So let's just say, for example, something happened with, someone who, was verbally attacking me, or whatever the case may be, and I'm feeling that negative energy stirring up inside me, and it's, it just feels like, bad taste in your mouth and the pit of your stomach. You don't really know how to get rid of it. So what I do is I decide on, one of the many things that I enjoy doing, whether it's reading or whether it's, building my modeling portfolio, whatever the case may be. I go to that. So I'll go click on my modeling portfolio and update the pictures and play around with that. It just like reinstills in my mind where my focus needs to be. So I take the focus away from the negative and I put it into the positive, because quite honestly, there's nothing I can do to change, the way a person's going to decide to act towards me or treat me. But what I can change is the way that I'm going to, move forward from that point. So I refocus myself. I take my energy away from something that's bad and that's negative, and I put it on something that I enjoy doing. And I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10, actually no, I'm going to say 10 on 10 now, I've learned that, the minute I do that, I get to my computer, wherever I am, I start to feel better immediately, because all of a sudden the attack on me, or whatever the case may be, it doesn't feel as powerful anymore. I've zapped it of the energy, that negative energy that was attacking me. The other thing that I've learned to do over time is to not engage. The reality is that, emotional muggers type A, they're not, it's not about you, it's about them. And I know I'm going to probably get a whole bunch of comments down below about that one, but it's true. The reality is more often than not, the problem is something that they're dealing with in their own lives. It has nothing to do with me, that's just being taken out on me. So I opt not to engage. I've learned, to kind of bite my tongue, keep my mouth shut, and move on. Because honestly, I have to admit that, when I do engage with someone like that, they're not even hearing what I'm saying. So all I'm going to do is frustrate myself even further. So I'm not going to say that this happened overnight. It didn't, and there's definitely been trial and error on, what it is that, makes me feel good in the moment so that I can get rid of that negative energy and stay in the positive. But it's been, a learning process that's led me to be able to deal with those emotional muggers. The same thing for, emotional muggers type B. I do the same thing if I'm feeling, kind of offset or whatever the case may be. I, go to my dreams, go to my goals. Find that one thing that always makes you feel good, whatever it is. If it's painting, if it's drawing, if it's writing, write, paint, draw. Just go there for 10 minutes. The other thing with emotional muggers type B, the reality is they're not, nobody's intentionally going after you, but they don't sometimes even realize that they're doing it. So I've known and come to know that in the past, and when I sit down with people like that and talk to them about it and say, I know you're not doing this on purpose, but this is how I feel. You know, I don't put blame on them. I say that I understand the situation, and I'm going to tell you that it works every time. Everybody's, you know, been very open to listening to what I have to say, and all the relationships that I've approached where that's been one of the issues have actually turned out, you know, to have grown and be better and stronger relationships. So those are a few of the things that I do to keep myself in a positive energy when someone's trying to suck it out of me. And I'm going to say that the other thing that I do, which is a tip that I give everybody all the time, is focus every day on what your goals are, what your dreams are. It's one thing to write your goals down on paper and never go back to them, but you know, spend some time every day focusing yourself on what you're going after in life, whatever it is, and then you're going to find that the minute things that happen in a day of negative, you know, of a negative base are going to start to drift away. And I know it's hard in the moment. I know that when you're trying to learn how to do this, it feels overwhelming, and how can I ever not say anything? You know, like, I have to say something. You know, she called me this or she called me that. No, you don't. You really don't. Rise above. I tell, you know, all the women who I work with, you know, taking the high road is not the easy road by any stretch. It's really not, but it's the better road, and it's the road that's going to pay off in the end. So those are my, you know, 3 things that I do to avoid the negative, you know, impact of emotional muggers. I'd love to hear about what you do. So if you, you know, have tricks that you use on a day-to-day basis to help rid yourself of negative energy that's being launched at you from, you know, different and varying people, I'd love to hear about what you do. So go down below and post a comment, and